Hi everyone, this is Dane Young, Citrix Technology Professional and Virtualization Practice Manager for Entisys Solutions in Northern California. I'm really excited today to talk to you about some cool new innovations and technologies that Citrix has been working on, specifically around XenApp and XenDesktop 7.6 Feature Pack 3. So what I have set up here is I have a demo environment, and the first thing we'll notice when we're logging into this demo environment is that we have the latest version of NetScaler 11, and that gives us some new capabilities to very easily customize our theme. So to give that customer-friendly user interface when users are logging in with their username, password, or two-factor authentication. So I'll go ahead and log in as a test user here. And you'll notice that the theme that I have available here is based on Storefront 3.x, or the receiver X1 interface. So pretty cool stuff going on. Wouldn't be a Citrix demo in 2015 without showing off a little bit of the Linux VDA. So we have that desktop available to demo to customers. We also have a couple Windows 10 variations, one including the default codecs for Windows 10 Feature Pack 3, and the other for Thinwire Compatibility Mode, or Thinwire Plus as it's called. And then, of course, we have our general run-of-the-mill enterprise standard desktops like a Windows 7 persistent desktop and a 2012 R2 hosted shared desktop. I'm really excited, particularly about Windows 10 virtual delivery agents, which shipped with Feature Pack 3. This enables organizations, whether they're just doing some test and development on Windows 10 or they're ready to roll Windows 10 out across the board, to fully evaluate how Windows 10 would fit in a VDI infrastructure or virtual desktop infrastructure. So one of the things that we see often is organizations use VDI as their testing and development platform to make sure that they have application compatibility for all their different layers and their different applications that they have within their organization, whether those are various business applications or consumer-facing applications, whatever those may be. So we'll go ahead and launch this Windows 10 virtual desktop here and see what the user experience is like. So you'll notice the icon that I clicked is the Thinwire Plus icon, and what I've done is I've configured a specific Citrix policy to enable Thinwire Compatibility Mode, which is not the default codec for Windows 10 or even 7.6 for that matter, but it's introduced with Feature Pack 3, and there's a lot of cool enhancements that come along with the Thinwire Compatibility Mode. One of the best is a better bandwidth utilization and lower CPU and overall system resource utilization to deliver a similar user experience to the video compression codec or the H.264 codec. We'll dive into that a little bit, but what we wanted to show first of all is that this is a Windows 10 virtual desktop. I have a full Windows 10 start menu here. If I click on all applications, I can see I have a number of different applications that are installed. And yeah, it's pretty awesome experience to get to Windows 10 in a virtual desktop while I may be running Windows 7, maybe running 8.1, maybe running different tablets or iOS or Android devices. Pretty much anything, any device, anywhere can access a Windows 10 virtual desktop and get some pretty incredible experience. The one thing that I really like as a Surface Pro consumer and having a Surface Pro 3, I have a full touch interface on my Surface. And so with Windows 10 running as a VDA and Windows 10 running on my Surface, I actually get full touch capabilities inside of this VDA. So what you're seeing right now is a couple examples of pinching and zooming and scrolling just using touch and using my fingers on the Surface Pro interface. And this is very smooth. It's very intuitive. It's exactly the way that it would be intended to be experienced if I was running this application natively. And what I've done here is I've just pulled up an Excel spreadsheet that has a lot of different data points in it just to show what the experience is like. This is over a WAN connection connected remotely via NetScaler Gateway, approximately 75 miles away from the data center, and I'm getting a really good user experience at anywhere between 30 and 60 milliseconds of latency on this connection. So very good results so far with the Thinwire Plus or Thinwire Compatibility Mode codec. Of course, it's optimized for general business productivity applications, things like Microsoft Office, things like line of business apps that are predominantly using pivot tables or spreadsheets or Word documents, things along those lines. If I had a GPU available to this device, to this virtual desktop, I might actually get some benefit from that in addition to Thinwire Plus as the codec, as the compression codec. But in this example, I'm just showing a general medium workload VM with 2 vCPUs, 4 gigs of memory, and actually some really good performance from a disk perspective, from an all-flash perspective. So really good experience overall. Happy with the results that I'm seeing here. I can play YouTube videos and do all kinds of different things, all leveraging this compression codec, Thinwire Compatibility Mode. And while it's not necessarily tuned for video, what I've noticed is that the user experience, even when doing server-side rendering of Flash or Windows Media Player type of content, the user experience is pretty good. I'm getting pretty good frame rates, and overall the visibility of the videos is actually really good using this codec. There might be cases where it makes sense to use the H.264 codec, and in those cases we could configure that via policy. But overall, the Thinwire Compatibility Mode codec works pretty well. Again, you'll notice a lot of CPU usage when I was playing those Flash videos, and a big part of that is due to the server-side rendering and the fact that I don't have a vGPU, an NVIDIA vGPU, or an AMD or Intel GPU available to this desktop, so it's doing server-side rendering using CPU resources. But even still, the user experience for this general workload, this general VM, is actually doing pretty good using these codecs. So the Excel experience, the Word experience, all of my Microsoft Office applications, everything seems to be working really well with Windows 10 with the Thinwire Compatibility Mode codec. Everything's looking really good, and I'm generally liking the experience that I'm seeing here. All of my applications are nice and snappy. Everything is working just the way that I would expect it to, and the usability is really solid in spite of the fact that I'm remote over a WAN connection, actually a remote access connection, and I have variable internet speeds. The Thinwire Compatibility Mode codec is holding up really solid when using Feature Pack 3, when using Windows 10, and yeah, everything is doing really well. If you want to learn more about the codec, the Thinwire Compatibility Modes, internally it was a project name called Snowball, but now that it's released, it's called the Thinwire Compatibility Mode. And you can find a blog article by a colleague, Maya Jain, who wrote, Why Should You Care About the New HDX Thinwire? And there's been a number of other blogs in the series, including some from the developers of this codec. Really, really awesome stuff coming from Citrix. There's also what is very helpful for customers, a white paper that was written by Marcel that describes policy templates now available with Feature Pack 3 release. So Feature Pack 3 included some downloadables for group policy templates to configure different HDX policies. And Citrix has done a really good job of creating some base templates that would be leveraged, and this table of contents gives a good overview. There's some for high server scalability. There's some for high scalability with a legacy OS. Legacy OS being Windows 7, 2008 R2, those types of operating systems. And then optimized for WAN with the legacy OS. And then very high definition user experience. For example, if I'm using an NVIDIA grid card with a vGPU profile. So really cool stuff coming from Citrix these days around policies, around optimization, around codecs, and the best part of all this, from my perspective, is the fact that Windows 10 is now generally available, and we can leverage it in a virtual desktop environment. So any organizations that are looking to do some dev test, make sure that their applications are going to work on Windows 10 on a modern platform from a Microsoft perspective. We can now deliver those via VDI and start experiencing some of the benefits that Windows 10 has to offer. I'm really excited about some of these new innovations from Citrix, and I hope you are too. This is Dane Young, Virtualization Practice Manager for Entisys Solutions. Thank you, and good day.